Street food, the fuel that runs the world. From Mumbai to Mexico City, hole-in-the-wall joints and sidewalk stalls feed billions every day on the cheap. But what does a $10,000 meal taste like? Why would anyone spend the cost of a used car on a single dinner? Let's go on a gastro-adventure, traversing the spectrum of global cuisine, from $1 street eats to 10 grand tasting menus at the pinnacle of haute cuisine. How much does price influence taste? Is an expensive meal hundreds of times better than street food? Or do the joy and culture of street dining outweigh the decadence of luxury? Our journey starts where most of humanity eats, at the street cart. Across the developing world, vendors fill the air with smoky aromas and tantalizing sizzles. For loose change, you're transported by flavors as complex as anywhere else. In Hanoi, Vietnam, sidewalk stools surround bubbling pots of pho filled with long-simmered bone broth, springy rice noodles, and thinly sliced beef. The price? About $1. But the flavors? An entire cuisine in a bowl. Sweet beef mingles with ginger, star anise, and charred onion. With each slurp, you're drinking in the very soul of Vietnam. Now to India, where the air hangs heavy with mouth-watering spices. For a single buck, a banana leaf plate is generously ladled with rich, velvety dal studded with cumin. Potato and onion curry with a lick of heat, lemony rice shining with ghee, basic ingredients transformed to sublime heights by spices alone. Such bright, buzzing complexity from humble lentils and rice. In Mexico City, smoke-charred trompo meat spins from vertical rotisseries like doner kebabs. On homemade corn tortillas with onion, cilantro, and salsa, al pastor tacos are just $1 each. Each bite of the thinly sliced pork envelops your senses. Fatty, crispy, sweet, and acidic all at once. You're experiencing Mexico in edible form. These roadside feats of culinary genius demonstrate skilled technique honed over decades. Vendors dedicate their lives to just one or two beloved dishes cooked to perfection. Street food vendors use simple ingredients to create delicious, complex flavors. With just a cutting board and knife, they cook hundreds of meals daily with precision and efficiency honed over years of practice. The joyful chaos of standing shoulder to shoulder with locals in line for their weekly fix bonds you together through sharing food and space. Street food immerses you in the organized madness of everyday life far more than any tourist trap restaurant. Affordable, authentic street food gives outsiders a true taste of local culture. But what about on the other end of the spectrum? As we climb the ladder of extravagance, prices and expectations soar ever higher. What incredible heights can elite chefs reach with unlimited budgets for only the finest seasonal ingredients? Welcome to the domain of multi-course tasting menus running $1,000 per head or more. Enclaves of luxury separated entirely from everyday reality. In Singapore, we enter the hallowed dining room of Odette, Asia's best restaurant for several years running. Graceful floral arrangements decorate every pristine tablecloth. Crystalline glassware glints in the soft light. An army of tuxedoed waitstaff stands ready to pamper and impress throughout the night. Your 20-plus course experience commences with an optional $180 glass of champagne infused with shavings of white truffle. Rare commodities converge. As the effervescent liquid graces your tongue, earthy, hedonistic aromas fill your nostrils. Then, one elegant, bite-sized morsel after another emerges from the kitchen over 3 or 4 languorous hours. Each dish spotlights premium seasonal ingredients raised or foraged expressly for the restaurant. Hokkaido uni resting atop kombu gelée, crowned with Australian winter truffles. Perfectly seared New Zealand scampi perched on foie gras cream, garnished with coins of summer black truffles. Rossini Wagyu tenderloin, anointed with more Perigord truffle and a Barolo wine reduction. In Yountville, California, Chef Thomas Keller's flagship French Laundry provides a similarly decadent experience within a quaint cottage-turned temple of gastronomy. The 9-course tasting menu commands over $350 per head, excluding wine pairings. Guests arrive early to stroll the impeccable herb gardens as adrenaline and anticipation peak. At Tang Court in Hong Kong, the Emperor Feast costs over $6,500 per person. This 10-course meal has things like sea cucumber, rare bird's nest soup, abalone, and fancy sake. It tries to capture ancient Chinese imperial luxury. Guy Savoy's restaurant in Las Vegas has a $500 black truffle and caviar tasting menu. For 20 courses, you get a lot of truffle shavings, caviar, lobster, expensive crab, and more. The point is, these places use extremely rare, expensive ingredients to create luxury-tasting menus. A single meal can cost as much as a used car. The experience promises to be exceptional. Nino's Bellissima in New York City offers the Fra Diavolo tasting menu for $10,000 for 2 people. It includes luxuries like fresh diver scallops, white Alba truffles shaved tableside, and Russian Osetra caviar topping Kobe beef Wellington. The meal is served in Nino's private wine cellar surrounded by extremely rare vintages included in the price. The restaurant sets the scene with opera music, hoping to recreate a billionaire's elegant lifestyle for the night. These meals demonstrate just how expensive dining can get. From the ingredients to the ambiance, everything aims to provide an ultra-luxurious culinary experience out of reach for 99% of people. The restaurants spare no expense transporting diners into total decadence. Its astronomical cost limits accessibility by design. But does monetary value directly translate to enjoyment? Is the experience of a $10,000 tasting menu actually 100 times more pleasurable than a $100 meal? Consider the law of diminishing returns. We should judge dishes by flavor, not price or prestige. Two people can have equally transcendent bites of food in different settings without ranking one superior. If simple ingredients like rice and lentils can build such nuanced flavors for pennies, are fancy tasting menus actually 100 times tastier? Or do elements like service, presentation, and exclusivity account for much of the astronomical price tag? Sensationalism also attracts diners chasing bragging rights from flashy restaurants more than unpretentious hole-in-the-wall joints. Social media gives haute cuisine free exposure that humbler eateries must buy through traditional advertising. Yet a $10 bowl of hand-pulled noodles in Lanzhou or plate of tacos al pastor may haunt your dreams equally. Does authenticity matter more than originality or innovation in food? Restaurants like Noma mold ingredients like moss and ants into edible abstract art. But if flavor takes a backseat to novelty, who actually wants to eat the creation? Food should nourish more than just the ego and Instagram account. Fancy, expensive meals can be very enjoyable for celebrations, but simple street food also brings people together by reminding them of childhood favorites from their culture. Across all types of dining, good flavor and welcoming service are most important. Price and fame do not guarantee happiness with a meal. Often, the cheapest dishes are the most comforting. Whether you're sitting or standing, Shanghai soup dumplings or a six-figure dessert can nourish your soul equally. Tasting menus let you try new things if you can pay. But the classic street snacks of the past and present are priceless treasures to everyone. The main ideas are, both simple and luxury dining have merits. Flavor and hospitality matter more than cost. While high-end tasting menus offer new experiences, classic affordable street food comforts and connects people across cultures and income levels. Sophisticated doesn't always mean better when it comes to food enjoyment.